Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, November 22nd. And if we look at some of the headlines coming up, we've got a pretty nice day on tap today. We're going to have highs in the mid-30s to around 40, but then we're going to see a mixed bag of precipitation move in for tonight with snow, sleet, freezing rain, and even rain. And I think the more rain it will be farther to the south, the better chance of a little bit more in the way of snow to the north. This won't be a big system, but it could be enough to coat, especially elevated surfaces in the grassy areas, tree limbs, stuff like that, and some of the rural roads, though, could be a little bit slippery across central and northern lower Michigan. And then for the weekend, looks like we're going to be cool, but lots of sunshine. And then we've got a pretty wet system maybe coming in for later Monday into Tuesday, and that could bring another half-inch of rain. So we're going to certainly be turning more active as far as the weather goes here over the next 7 days. You can see around the area yesterday, temperatures mainly in the 30s, the warm spot 38 degrees down in Jasper, and the cool spot down to Clarksville, where it got down to 23 degrees, and some temperatures out there this morning even colder, and we'll show you that in a minute. Our normal for the day is 42 for a high, the normal low is 27, and you can see the record high is 64 and 34, and exactly 1 year ago today we picked up 4.2 inches of snow, and that was over a pre-midnight to the following day, where we picked up that snow. And again, not a lot of snow last year, so that was one of the four significant events we had for the entire year. But this snow here all melted just prior to Thanksgiving, so it stuck around for about 2.5, 3 days, and then she all melted just in time for Thanksgiving. As far as temperatures this morning, pretty chilly out there. Temperatures mainly in the low to mid 20s. You can see almost down to the upper teens across Newaygo, down to 20.6 degrees. And if we look at the next slide, you can see the 2-meter winds, low-level winds, and you can see a lot of circulation. This is out in southwest Kansas, and that low-pressure system, again, it's not going to be overly powerful, but it's going to move right up towards southern Lake Michigan here over the next 36 hours, and there's going to be a warm front associated with that, but it's going to get pinched off by the occluded front, so I don't think we ever get into the warm air. And you can see on the satellite, you can see on the infrared, you can see a column ahead of snow that's developing with this low, and that's going to move especially up into northern lower Michigan, Wisconsin, the UP, and parts of Minnesota, and up into the eastern Dakotas, where there are winter weather advisories out this morning. And you can see on the weather map this morning that low pressure system across southwest Kansas. Again, it's going to be moving off to the northeast as we put the map into motion. By tomorrow morning, it's over the northern Missouri, southern Iowa, and then finally, as we get into Thursday, that low comes up over southern Lake Michigan. And again, you see the occluded front, so we never get into the real warm air. That'll be squeezed off to the southeast. So it looks like a pretty mixed bag of precipitation, especially, I think, for the areas across from around I-96, but especially for M46 or M57 northward. And again, some areas could see some light accumulations as we go through the next 24 hours, starting tonight around midnight through tomorrow night late. And you can see quantitative precipitation here. This is over the next 72 hours, about a quarter to maybe a half inch in some areas. And if we look at the day 6, first of all, this is a Canadian model showing the potential for 2 to as much as 5 inches of snow for places like Newaygo down to Clarksville, up towards Middleton and Breckenridge in the Elma area. But again, I think this is outdone. This is the outlier. The GFS and the European model do not show really anything in the way of accumulation. So it'll be interesting to see if the Canadian model can score an upset. But again, we expect trace amounts of accumulations of snow and ice. But again, there could be some slippery spots, and we'll see if this model does a little better than the U.S. and the European models. I don't think it will, but something worth noting. And if we look at the precipitation for early next week, this will be the day 6, day 7. We're going to have another system come up towards the Great Lakes. We'll be on the warm side of that as it looks right now, so mainly a rain event for then. And then I think we're going to turn colder as we get into later next week, towards next weekend. But again, that's 8 to 10, 12 days away, so we'll worry about that when the time comes. But certainly a much more active pattern setting up here over the next week. And you can see those winter weather advisories across the areas of the Dakotas into Minnesota, into northwest Wisconsin, likely to be extended into the UP later on today. Even some winter storm warnings out into the eastern portions of North Dakota. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.